to Laughter Talks. And now I have this woman, and she's going to hypnotize you with her eyes. And Erin Carere, you are an actress, and you've been on the show before, and you're so many other things. I want to give you a proper introduction, but I'm just warning everybody. You're mesmerizing with your eyes. You're beautiful. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Really nice intro.
Okay, well, I'm excited. So let me tell everyone that might not have seen you before. Erin Carere is an award-winning screenwriter, actress, singer, and author. Oh my goodness. She began performing one-woman shows about hilarious things like eating disorders and terrible relationships. God, I love that stuff. I love that. Now, as it never is old, it's always new and fresh when you do that stuff. Now, as an actress, notable roles included the lead in the Emmy Award-winning Alabama Snake on HBO, a stint with the Pulitzer Prize-nominated Taylor Mack's 24-decade history of popular music, and a much-watched episode of Sex Sent Me to the ER. Oh, that sounds really good. I like that. Now, for more information, because this is a very empowered woman, and for more information about Erin, go to her fantastic website, and I will have this written right here for erincarere.com. And of course, you are on IMDb, so people want to check out your reels and things. So all I have to say, Erin, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. And I invited you back because I just want to know what wonderful things are you doing. I keep saying you're winning awards. So what is your most recent project? Share with us.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so the most recent project, like you, because I know that you always have multiple things going on at the same time. You know, we meaning me and my husband have multiple things going on at once. But the thing that we're most excited about right now is our project Spy versus Spia, which is an independent television pilot. It's about two rival international spies who have a love-hate, push-pull relationship with each other, and they are forced to band together when an evil organization takes over the city of Los Angeles. So it's sort of like moonlighting, you know, that kind of vibe where it's the will they, won't they, but they kind of hate each other. But of course, maybe they don't hate each other, but then somebody opens their mouth and then they hate each other again. You know,
Now,
that kind of.
is this you sent me and I watched, it's Spy versus Spy.
It's Spy versus Spia. Spia is Italian for spy.
Oh, that's why it confused me, because I said, it sounds like you're describing what you sent to me. And it's just so funny. It really is amazing. And I love you doing that accent. Are you a Russian spy? Is that your Russian accent?
Yes, actually, the character is an American spy who assumes the identity of a Russian opera singer. Because, of course, we all know Russians love classical music and they love opera. And what better way to ingratiate yourselves into the lives?
Carlo il Bello, famous Italian spy.
Spia, Italian for spy. But I am retarded.
Retired my ass!
Irina Volka, Russian opera singer, a.k.a. Erin Anderson, American spy.
A user in the Spy-Anon chat room named The Real Chuck Barris reported that a new evil organization was forming in Los Angeles, right under our noses. I'll be watching you.
And I'll be watching you.
And I'll be watching you, watching me, watching you.
Now I'm confused.
I don't know what he said, but fellatio porn camp. That sounds awesome.
What? You were married to that?
How dare you? I am Irina Volka, celebrated
shit.
soprano. I made hardened prison guards harder.
I could never date a spy. Lying is the job. If he's lying about where he's going, what his mission is, what else is he lying about?
Gold and sterling silver, where do I
Oh my God, really? And I love your little sexy scene there.
God.
Good figure, girl. You're gorgeous and you have a good figure. So, but you play off each other very well. And is comedy hard for you to do? Is it harder than straight acting, like for drama?
I think it, I think it is. I think part of it is that all my life I've always been funny, but when I was young, it was always that I was funny when I was trying to be serious. So I learned the hard way that it's about the level of stakes and the level of anxiety and compression of multiple feelings at once. I
Yeah.
discovered when I was little and I would tell my troubles and they would laugh. So so I think sometimes when I do drama, what I'm actually doing is sort of like taking me, Erin, as a person, my actual emotional state back a couple of
Yeah.
steps. Um, and I'm not saying that normal people are less emotional, but I do just maybe think I've always been so, just full of life and so, well, deeply emotional versus when it's comedy. I've had to learn how to hone how to use the intensity that is the Erin you see before you for comedic purposes. So I would say it is harder, but it is also a little more natural to me as a person.
Yeah, because it really comes across, because I know that when people are watching it, they go, oh, that's so easy and perfect. And the way you do it, see, the way you two are amazes me, because you are funny. And it is a strong suit of yours, because you're not doing it funny, but it is funny.
Yeah, that's my favorite. If you think about Robin Williams, who was so funny, and he was a Juilliard trained actor, right? Went to the same places, Jessica Chastain and Val Kilmer, who are both such serious dramatic actors. And Robin Williams was able to tap into that emotion, but make it funny. And what makes it funny is, I believe, the level of stakes, as well as, of course, all of the comedic rules, right? The rules of opposites and the conflicting tensions. But I watched an interview with Robin Williams, rest in peace, where he talked about acts, whether dramatic or comedic or the middle ground. What he thinks is most important is to be so present and to just feel his way through the scene. And I really took that lesson to heart, to just feel my way through a scene so that you don't have to try to be funny anymore. Yeah, rhythm is important. Yeah, editing is important. Yeah, sometimes, when you're even just my experience stand up, what it really is that you're sharing something that is very relatable and that people will laugh at what is real. They say
Yes.
time, right? We
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah, that's very exaggerated and very present body language when you're doing comedy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's just coming across, but you do it perfectly. You and your husband are great. Now, do you have your own production company?
We do. Carere Entertainment. We started it, a few years ago to do some of our projects. And we have also produced a short film called Near Death, a very
Oh,
different project.
tell us about that. I was just going to ask you about that one.
Yeah, thank you. A horror supernatural thriller, and it's about a priest who has a near-death experience from which he is left with a psychic ability to view tragedies as they happen. And in order to save people,
Mhm.
he is having to risk his own life and he has to risk not only his own life, but a lot of the things he loves. We produced first a short film version of it, and we had some success at some festivals, and now we've had it licensed to Tubi, Zumo, Typhoon, Brazil Box, a number of different streaming channels who are streaming the short. And then we wrote a television pilot based on the short
Mhm.
that we, of course, obviously hope to, sell or coming up.
Where do you usually find your locations and everything? How does that work for you?
I mean, it really depends on the project. So, for example, for Near Death, it was truly a group effort. There were 4 of us working on the production side. Well, 3, and then for a little while, a 4th person. And some of the locations we actually got so lucky. We called Riverside County They're trying to grow their film production. So we called their office and they gave us a number of locations for free as long as we had insurance. Yes, it was a drive.
Yeah.
We ended up paying a little bit for gas and mileage. But I will tell you this, they were so helpful. And even the police drove by several times just to check on us, just to make sure we were okay and had everything we needed.
Wow. Now, do you do both SAG and non-union? I was just curious.
Yep. Well, I am a member of SAG, so if I'm acting in something, but yes, we do productions that are both union and non-union, just like I'm also equity. So I've also, although equity rules are a little different, of course, you can do non-equity productions if you're an equity performer. For those who don't know, equity is the stage guild. You can do some non-equity productions if you get special permission. And there are easier ways around it with equity, I think easier.
Yeah.
Simply, for example, in Los Angeles, there aren't so many equity productions.
Yeah.
And there's not the same scene as, say, in New York or even Chicago, or even Minneapolis has a different setup. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. If when in doubt, do it all. then you don't have any worries, and that's amazing. Now, you have won the runner-up in the Outstanding Screenplay TV Pilot competition for your screenplay Reverse. Now, that sounds very interesting. Could you tell us a little bit about the premise of Reverse and what's happening with that?
yes, and if you don't mind me tooting my own horn a little, actually, that project has won first place or the grand prize in 8 different screenwriting contests.
Congratulations. That's amazing. That's no joke. That's wow.
Thank you. Yes, and then it's placed in nearly 40 or over 40 others at this point as a semifinalist or finalist or quarter. We're really proud of that. That's Carlo and I, of course, wrote that together. And it is the story of an FBI agent and his #1 most wanted criminal who wake up in a post-apocalyptic New York City with no memories of what happened, and everybody on earth has died. And they have to find a way together to figure out what happened and how what they're going to do about it. I don't want to give away beyond that.
Yeah. Well, that's a full feature.
We've written the pilot and a feature version. We've done both.
Yeah.
So,
and will you do a short for that one? Because that does seem to be a natural evolution and a really good idea. If you have the short.
We've actually written a short film of it. We haven't produced it yet because we're working on a feature right now, and we just optioned one feature to a producer director, and we're actively writing a feature we plan to produce. But we do have a short film version of Reverse that we would produce in the future if we don't sell it outright. So that is definitely, you're very savvy, because you definitely know our game plan now.
Yeah. Well, again, it's wonderful because that you can do all this, and everything matters, and it's really how people recognize you. Everything we do is important. So congratulations on that screenplay. That's amazing. So I want to ask you, what is your best way for people to contact you if they want to reach out or they are interested in your projects? What's your preferred way of being reached?
I think the best way to reach me is on my website, erincarere.com. So ERINARERE. I'm sure you'll note, I know you have the running ticker tape.
Yeah, I'll have it right there.
Also email. They can email me. There's email on the website. You can Instagram me. You can private message me on Facebook. I don't do Facebook as often as Instagram, but I get on there.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good you can be reached. That's wonderful. Now, you have written a book. I didn't tell us a little bit about that, because I didn't read what it was about, but you mentioned that you wrote your first book. I was reading someplace. So what's that all about?
Yeah, I have a meeting with a publisher this week. So cross your fingers that it's a match. Finding an agent, finding a publisher, finding a producer, you guys, I know because you have produced films, directed films, written films, plays, and everything. But for people who are starting out, I swear to God, it is like dating. It is like finding, somebody that you can get into a long-term relationship with.
Yeah.
And so I've been working to find an agent for my book or a publisher. And this is a book that I don't want to give away too much, but I'll tell you the log line. It is about a woman who is an aspiring improv actor. And she's a bit of a quirky mess as a person. She inherits a house that she discovers on her very first night is haunted by ghosts who believe that it is actually 1942, and they are a studio picture of Shakespeare's The Taming of the Shrew. And not only that, but they believe that this quirky, aspiring improv actress is actually a macho male movie star, sort of like a Clark Gable kind of figure. And our lead character, Kate is there to play Petruchio in The Taming of the Shrew, opposite the ultimate glamour diva from the 40s, Joan de la Flora as Catherine. So,
Well, that's fun.
So it influences her life by day, and she ultimately, it's a romantic comedy, and she ultimately is sort of forced to choose between, does she want more nighttime life or her daytime life? And I love this project so much. So thank you for asking me about it.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. I mean, that you're becoming an author. I mean, that's my special thing. I just love to do. It's always the way I started out, and now I'm in love with film. But I'm happy for you and that you're doing that because you're very talented. Now, Erin, before we do go, I always like to ask my guests, because it's good to give back and give people tips. What would you suggest to younger, I'm a woman, younger women, we like to think of them. Men can take the advice if they want to, but what are some tips that you would give someone starting out to get into acting and start being proactive in what's going on?
I mean, I really have, I completely appreciate what you're saying. I really do love to give back to, especially to young women, because I would like to give to them what I didn't have for myself. I have so many things to say, but first and foremost is don't try to go too fast. Develop your skills, develop your craft. When I first moved to Los Angeles, I thought I was way more ready than I was. And while it is the case that you might luck into something or naturally be this character, you still need skills, you need craft. You need certain business skills, certain understandings of how to learn the things you don't know. So that would be my number one tip. My number two tip is follow your heart and don't listen to those voices outside your head or inside your head, or any voices that say that you're wasting your time, you'll never make it, you can't figure it out. Because the road to being an artist and being yourself may be long, maybe short, maybe windy, maybe straight, who knows? But if you're following your path, that road will be glorious and you will encounter many treasures along the way. So just stick with it and follow your heart.
I want you to, I just asked you the question, where can people go see it? Answer it.
So September 2nd through the 5th, Spy vs. Spia will be at the Los Angeles International Film Festival at the Grove. Now, it's supposed to be there at that time, but they did send an email saying COVID might interrupt those dates. So please be patient with us. So as much as I really want to say, yes, absolutely, September 2nd through the 5th. Also, follow me on Instagram or on Facebook so that you know, like, okay, yes, I can buy tickets to see Spy vs. Spia. And it will be at more festivals coming down the line. So for example, in July, we had the LA Shorts International Festival and we premiered there. We'll have the September festival and then there's more coming up. Yeah. So follow me. We'll get to see.
I'll do that. And Erin, do me a favor, put me on your email list when you make an announcement to your friends about, coming out and everything. Let me know. I'd love to be on that list. And that's it, everybody. This is a wrap. And thank you. And everybody, make sure you support your immune system because there's only one per customer. And Erin, thank you again. Have a wonderful day. I love you and keep me posted, okay?
Thank you so much. always.
You take care. Bye, Erin.
Bye.